I want you to start small. So small that it might be seeming funny. That the action that you're about to take that seems so small seems funny, that it seems delusional of how it might work. Today I want to talk about the importance of why starting small is so important in the process of any realm. When we start first content, a business, a fitness journey, a making new friend, we need to learn certain stuff in order to achieve the status that we want. Maybe you want the Gymshark athlete type of physique. Maybe you want the 10k a month. Maybe you want the huge following that you saw on Instagram. I want you to think of the smallest action that you can take within that realm. This is not funny. This is not to make fun of you. This is not to make seem you're like belittling you. But this is to make you remember that starting small is part of the process. When you first start in the kitchen cooking, you want to cook with the knife. You want to chop up some onions. Your mother or your father is not gonna hand you at first a real knife. Some parents might do, but my parents did not. What they did was first was a plastic knife. It was a plastic knife that wasn't dangerous at all, that when you cut your fingers that didn't hurt you at all. And they handed you a banana, something soft, something very, 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 very easy to start. Like, who cannot cut a banana with a knife? And it seemed boring to me. It seemed like delusional to me. Like, why didn't you hand me just a real knife in my hand that you are using really to cut the meat that you are preparing for us? But as I got older, I remembered that it didn't stop at the banana. At first, you cut the banana slowly in pieces. Then the next day, you ask again. And now they handed you a carrot, something way harder, something way more difficult than the last day, which was a banana. And after a week, I finally was handed the real knife that was my father was using while cutting meat. And I realized that my self-confidence of, okay, I can do this. I can surely cut this knife. Surely cut this meat with this knife went skyrocketing. My brother was handed a real knife, and his confidence was not there as was mine. And I realized was that over the period of 6 days, and each single day I was practicing with the plastic knife, the toy knife, cutting on the fruits and vegetables. I realized that if I didn't have that training, if I didn't have the 6 days of cutting the easy and delusional and boring and lame vegetables and fruits, I didn't have the confidence on the 7th day to cut that meat with a real knife. Same as with your life. You first start something, we get the motivation, you get the inspiration from somebody, an artist, a musician, a athlete, a real, whatever it might be, and we get the inspiration from outside. And we start this new thing. We start want to make content. We start want to travel. We start going to the gym. But we don't see the progress that they made. We don't seem to have the Sam Sulek, the C-bomb type of physique at the first day of going to the gym. We don't have the 10,000, that 1 million followers like Tony Robbins, the Wall of Wall Street speaker do. And we start to beat ourselves up. Like, oh, you don't have those things. Oh, you don't have those things. You're a failure. It doesn't come in this context. It might be different to yours, but when you make the progress, And you start the first day, the second day, the third day, the week, the month. You will compare yourself a little bit, sometimes, time to time, to see how much you have accomplished the things that you got from the inspiration. Inspiration of itself is good. Like if you don't have an inspiration, then just go out there and discover it until you have something. But what I want to tell you is that those people that you look up on, also started very, very, very small. Like if you look, Tony Robbins, he has been 20 plus years in that industry of motivational speaking, and he didn't start with that massive audience. And you look at Eamon Gadzhi, the billionaire, a self-made billionaire who is now living somewhere out in the world that you want to also live, in Cape Town, in France, or in Spain. I don't know where he lives right now, but when you click on his profile, YouTube profile, and search for the oldest video, by clicking on the oldest video, you will find that he was recording with a camera, not a camera, but a phone, his gym videos, and he didn't talk at all. And as I watched the progress that Eamon Gadzhi himself made, he also uploaded a video in which he said that at the beginning he uploaded for 2-3 straight years and he didn't get the views that he wanted. Maybe he got 1,000, but that wasn't the average view rate. Maybe it was 100, maybe it was 200, maybe it was 500, sometimes 1,000. And that for 2 years. He has just grinded and grinded and grinded and grinded until he had started his company. And it didn't blow up overnight. But what I want to tell you is that starting small is necessary for the progress. Starting small is so important for the progress. So, don't beat yourself up. And think of the smallest act that you can do today in order to make progress, in order to become better than the version that you were yesterday. And remember, starting small is part of the progress, and it is so important. Keep your head up, keep it going, and let's all grow together.